Lately, I've been feeling kind of hopeless. Like, I want to change the entire world all on my own. And then I get sad because there is only so much I can do. I feel like I wake up every morning and I see the worst things I've ever seen in my life on Motaz stories, and then I get more sad because we can't do that much. And I feel like we're always taught growing up that when we have a problem, we should just fix it all on our own. That's what makes us independent. But a single person cannot fix an entire corrupt empire on their own. Changing the world takes changing what you know. I was always taught that if you work a job that you actually like, you'll never work a single day in your life. But I'm more in the days where we used to be able to have hobbies, not side gigs, not another income stream, like hobbies, ones that we like to do, ones that we find joy in. We're gonna make a sourdough starter. I don't really get it, but I'm just gonna follow a recipe, okay? So you're supposed to put a rubber band around the jar so you can see when it starts to rise. I don't have a rubber band, so I'm using a hair tie, and I feel like that's the same. As I watched the American dream become so much more inaccessible to so many more people, I kind of realized that we end up forgetting how to do literally everything else as we work so hard to specialize in a single way. We spend all day, every day, 5 days a week just working on a single specialty without the allowance of being able to go build a new skill, to find a new hobby, find joy in something else. Find joy in something that isn't tied to your entire livelihood. I started to realize that the immense focus on a singular specialty benefits capitalism so much more than it benefits us. We rely on the system for everything, to consume instead of fix, to just buy a new thing, to call someone else to fix it. We forget how to do things on our own. We become reliant on the system. But when our gut reaction is just to call someone to fix it or to buy something new instead of fixing something, I feel like we lose our creativity to try and figure things out and to learn new things. I read on the internet that all you have to do is put holes for airflow, and then we're gonna do it. It feels a little crazy to me to say that hobbies and learning new skills could change the entire world, but I sincerely think that it's true. We're forced to use these systems because we don't know anything else, but when we learn new skills, when we start doing new things, we become less dependent on those systems. If I learn to mend clothes, I don't need to buy new clothes when my clothes have a hole in them. If I learn to garden, I don't need to go to the grocery store for quite as many things. If I learn how to use tools and I can figure out how to repair things in my home, I'm consuming less things. It's not only that we consume less, we also fill our souls so that we can keep going. Because when the world feels so overwhelming that it feels like it's collapsing, feels like the world stops turning for you, it doesn't stop turning for everyone else. We still need to continue on. We still need to do things to fill our soul so that we can keep going. The problems that we face in this world feel so deeply overwhelming, and it's hard to get out of that because they're so much bigger than each individual person, right? Climate change, war, imperialism, colonialism. It's so easy to feel hopeless when these problems are just so big, and to let it stop you, or to take in way more things than you can handle and you burn out. I feel like they tell you that there's certain things to do for self-care, right? Like skincare routines, going to the spa. That self-care is something that you need to do yourself instead of something that we do together as a community, helping each other. the West has almost weaponized self-care, like as if there's a right way and a wrong way, and the right way is somehow so materialistic. For me, self-care is cycling through things that fulfill me, right? Like when I get overwhelmed with taking in the news, I start reading a book. And then when I get overwhelmed from reading books, I switch to writing. And then when I get overwhelmed from writing, I switch to something else creative, like making videos. And then every single time that I cycle back through and I'm able to take in the news again, I feel refreshed, like I'm coming back to it. Even if every single one of those things was the same topic, right? If watching the news was watching Motaz's stories, if reading was reading books about Palestine, if writing was writing essays about revolution, and making videos was again making videos about revolution, and then I come back to the news and I still feel refreshed. And when I feel refreshed, I have the energy to be able to encourage my friends and to pour into others and encourage other people to know that we can make a difference. And that's the thing, right? If we take care of ourselves, we can help other people so easily, right? If we start paying attention and making our hobbies directed at helping others, you're helping heal them too. And then in turn, because they've been helped, they can help other people, and it has a ripple effect. If we start leaning into these hobbies and caring for ourselves, and we start directing that and understanding that our hobbies can help other people, we start to build systems of care for each other, and we can start engaging in those systems of care rather than the systems that we're being forced to use already. And sure, each one of us is only one person, but imagine if we all did that. Imagine if we all knew that we actually could make a difference. Imagine if it wasn't just our neighborhood, but it was the next neighborhood and the one after that too. Imagine if this type of community care became contagious amongst neighborhoods and it continued to spread on and on. Imagine if these systems of care spread so far and wide that we were able to make larger systems of care and take care of so many more people. We would be building systems and networks full of care instead of the systems that we're forced to use right now that currently feel like they're crushing us. People have told me before that I'm endlessly hopeful and I never falter or give up, and I always think it's kind of silly because I don't feel that way at all. But what I think they're really commenting on is that I really try and ground myself in knowing that we're standing on the shoulders of giants. I know that the legacy of yesterday is the same legacy that we're standing on today, that we're fighting the same exact fight that Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Edward Said, they were all fighting. It's the same one. If they could fight for a world that they would never see, I think that we can too. And if I'm fighting for a world that goes so far beyond my life, one for decades and centuries in the future, because I think that we can build a better world for those people that come then it's easy to know that each and everything that we do today as a step for tomorrow will have ripple effects that are exponentially larger than we could ever imagine. And these ripple effects will be seen for generations. And the ripples were already started for us. Do you see that each small thing isn't so small when you realize that it's on the shoulders of the people that came before us? And what we're doing is doing small things to push forward so other people can stand on our shoulders too.